This a tough a tough topic, right? Addiction. People so Everybody's so worried about what the next person think. Addiction is real, and addiction can come in many forms. You can be addicted to candy. You can be addicted to sex. You can be addicted to food, right? I was addicted to pills, to perks, and they always say you graduate, right? And that's what I did. I graduated to different things, right? I ain't proud of it. I was at my lowest, losing my son at 13 and seeing that. Like my son passed from an asthma attack in the house, right? At 13. And I still do. I feel so guilty like that I couldn't help him, right? And I just kept telling him, Kyrie, calm down. Like I kept telling him to calm down so he can breathe, till the ambulance and the fire people get there. And he took his last breath in the house, and I always blame myself for that, right? And I can honestly say, I think if I hadn't took drugs, I don't even think I would have made it, right? Being honest, because man, losing a child in front of you, like he was a newborn, right? He would have been 16, and that's the worst part of it. Like that, I hope I get to see him again one day. I know he in heaven. I hope I get there. You feel me? Me growing up, we didn't really see people losing their life from like asthma, right? Or even kids. Like now you got kids getting killed. But one thing I always say, I always remember that, and I always know that it could be worse, right? My son didn't die alone. He died with all of us in the house, his mama, his brother. So you could say he wasn't alone, right? I've gotten signs from him, that tells me he okay, right? I know he okay, right? And I stay ripping his name. I stay bringing him up, you know. And then the day to go by that I don't think about, Kyriel. Got him on. I went to Black Ink, you know. This year it'll be 3 years. His birthday March 21st. So he's forever 13, but he's 16. You know, I don't wish that upon nobody. If I could give anybody some advice, it'll be, man, make sure y'all kids shots, make sure they physical, all of that is up to date. You know, if they got asthma, make sure they got an inhaler on them. Make sure they got one at school. Make sure y'all got a safety plan in place where if something happens, man, and just don't take your kids for granted. Just, just don't take them for granted. You know, I was in his life his whole life. I seen him take his first breath and his last breath. You feel me? And that's one of the hardest things that I ever had to accept. You know, God did it where He didn't want me mad at nobody but Him. He didn't want me mad at nobody but Him. Everything happened for a reason. Cause if somebody would have killed my son like with a bullet right, I would have crashed out. I know it. So everything happened for a reason, right? And I hope with me sharing my story right now and coming out, I hope that it'll help somebody, right? Cause I didn't have nobody telling me this shit, telling me this stuff. I ran the drugs, and drugs is just a temporary fix. You just putting a band-aid on it, right? That band-aid got to come off some point, so you're gonna have to address it at some point, right? It took about 3 years, for me to address, my issues of losing my son, and I ain't healed now all the way, you know. I'm more accepting of it, You can't. We all gotta die someday, all of us. And I ask everybody this: would you want to see? How would you feel if you If you seen everybody you love die, everybody you love, you went to their funeral, right? You'll be hurt. I don't want it's something like no, let me go. I don't want to be the last to go. I don't want to be some people I can't see, I can't see gone. Take me. I don't want to have to, be going to these funerals, but we all gotta die. We all gotta go someday. I believe in reincarnation. I think we all come back one day at something. Just don't know what. It is what it is. I keep my son alive, his name alive every day. I speak him up. Ain't too much you can do, right? Shit happens. It's just like when somebody get killed. We can't do nothing about it. We can't bring them back. You just gotta accept it and move on. You know, that kind of changed me and shaped who I am today. I'm more, sensitive. I'm more reserved. Like, I don't be in the rush to jump to some stuff no more. You know, hopefully, I can start to mend the relationship of my family members. Because all of us is kind of distant now. Which a lot of families is distant right now. Family just ain't family like it used to be. You feel me? But I love everybody, man. And I know one day I gotta leave this place. And I just hope when I leave this place that I hope I go up there to where the big man at. Hope I make it up there to where my son at and I see them again. I don't know. I don't know. I just pray I'm there. Sometimes I wonder if heaven got a ghetto. And that's what Tupac said. I wonder if heaven got a ghetto. But no, man. But hey, y'all comment, like, share. Let me know what y'all want. What type of content y'all want. Y'all want a lot of real life following me around my day-to-day stuff. Y'all want these sessions, where I tell y'all about my life. I went to jail when I was 15. I got 5 years when I was 15 for armed robbery. So I tell people this all the time. At 15, you supposed to be getting ready for school, right? You don't supposed to be, in jail away from your family, right? I was. So I grew up a little bit faster than most, right? I never been to a prom. I never been to a graduation on the streets. Let me just say that, on the streets. I finished school though. I got some college education. I ain't no dummy or nothing, But yeah, anything y'all want to know, let me know. I'm an open book. I'm an open book, and I hope me starting this page, I hope you guys are open up to me and let me know about, some things about you guys, I like to travel. I like spending time with my family. I'm just more reserved now that I'm older. I'm more reserved, man. It don't take much to make me happy. It don't, right? I'd rather see my son, or the kids happy, right? I had my fun, right? Just seeing them happy. But for a year, like at least a year and a half, I couldn't even leave out the house. I couldn't even see kids out there playing. I would get emotional thinking about my son or thinking about being a family, right? That shit, it'll mess with me and I'd be so emotional. I'm talking about crying like a kid, snot bubbles, all that, you know. But one thing, people told me, like, I thought, because I'm a man, oh, the man got to be tough. We can't let people see us cry. Until somebody told me, like, if you got to stop looking at it like that. Because guess what? If you get cut, you're going to bleed too. It's going to hurt you too. So you can't sit up there and say, oh, I'm the man and I'm supposed to be this. No, you got feelings too. And people need to understand that and respect that. This whole thing where they feel a man supposed to be hard and don't supposed to cry, that's BS. That's BS. A real man sheds tears. A real man grows, shows growth. A real man don't put himself in a box of what he don't do. You know, so hopefully, you know, I can drop gems on y'all. Hopefully y'all can drop gems on me, you know. Like I said, I went to jail when I was 15. I ended up getting out. I caught a home invasion. Went back. When I went back, they charged me with escape from AWOLing from a group home, which I don't understand how I AWOL when I walked out of a group home that's built like a regular house. But, you know, then I had a few other little cases, you know. But I ain't been in trouble since like 2013, you know. I just been focusing on myself. And, you know, I can really say, I ain't gonna come out and say my drug of choice, but I kind of, y'all kind of already know, you know. But, you know, I can't say now I am drug free. I no longer use, you know. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy about that. And, you know, I'm just trying to grow. I hope me starting this Facebook page and this YouTube, I hope that allows me to grow and to meet and network with certain people that I need to network with. You know, maybe somebody, you know, that lost a child, maybe they can, you know, benefit from what I'm finna tell them, you know. Because I know, you know, when you lose a child, oh, it's finna, whew, that first few months, the first few days, that first day, oh my God, I always compare it like a Twilight Zone feeling, right? Like almost a scary feeling that I had that night, right? And every time I think about it, I just get real scared. Real scared. But I know my son, I know Kyrell up there in a better place, man. I know he is. And then I think too, like, you know, God still got me here. I didn't play Russian roulette so many times with my life. I used to wonder, why did God spare me? Why did he spare me and take my child? I really used to wonder that. Really. Right? Wonder, dang, why do he still got me here? I done did so much stuff. Like, come on, take me. And you know, I still wonder that why, but then I still do, and I wonder, like, you know, I'm 37. A lot of people didn't make it to this age. I didn't even know I was gonna make it to this age, to be honest, because I always been in the streets. Always, never had a job. So I always thought that this was gonna be my hustle, as far as, like, you know, as far as the street, just stuff like that, right? You know, times is changing. Times is changing, you know. Yeah, but yeah, y'all, you know, comment. Let me know some, you know, what y'all want to hear. You know, I don't know if I told y'all I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know, I know y'all see the Bucks. You know, yeah, but I hope we can grow together for a while. YouTube, I really do. All right, I'll get back with y'all, man. Y'all have a peaceful and safe day. Don't let nobody trick you off the street. Don't do it. All right.